Hello YouTube, Ronan Kazi. Something old and something new today. So Super Slanky Lanky is one of the commenters, and he wanted me to maybe show my grenade build. My grenade build is a build that is the genesis for my maximum protection build, where I could just tank everything. It's a yellow build, but I sped it up 2 times. So I'd run through this with this yellow build that had with survivalist like 80% damage reduction to yellows. It had healing, and it had grenades. So it had that Acosta backpack, and it had, which I don't have on now, and it had a chest piece, the one with the little frog on it that gives you, benefits throwing grenades. And we did pretty well through here. Not this video, the video before. And we were doing okay, but I realized, I'm like, man, they're kind of carrying me a little bit. So we got the part, I don't know if you saw my last video on the Division 2. There's a part where you go to the yellow tents and fight that whole section from there. So I ran up there, the healer followed me, and we did okay for a while, but we eventually wiped. Now, no one quit, but I couldn't F around anymore, so I got my max file jammer build, and now we're running it again. We're running it back. This is one of those groups where I'm wrong. They're not the highest watch level, but they're really good. They got really good builds. We have a sniper in here that's fantastic. We have a DPS guy, and we have a dedicated healer, and they're just fantastic. This is one of those times where my build is not the star of it. I'm just a member along for the ride. They don't need me here. I don't feel like that. They just got enough of everything. They play the right way for a legendary. Just fantastic. So it was a joy to play in this. I felt bad because I kind of screwed everything up on that first time. And so I talked to you about that before, that, maybe I shouldn't do that. Yes, maybe I shouldn't do that. That build's a good build, but it's just, it had some advantage. It was the grenade. And up through here, it was okay. Fighting the Chungas, I don't die. I'm right next to the Chungas. But we ended up dying, probably because I got to move too far ahead. But I probably moved too far ahead because, I'm in a shitty build and I can't do enough damage, and I'm not really... We go through the things that we spawn so fast. We spawn this third Chunga copter really fast. So this was a really great group. The sniper was fantastic. The heals were fantastic. If you played in a group with them, those guys, you'd be lucky. They're all really good players. Normally, this is where I make a mistake, where I think I have a build that can stand that, but I get out of there fast. And this is one of the times where we bend, don't break. I know I'm more squishy in this build, so I'll get out of there sooner, and I can still reach everyone from cover with pulse. And again, I don't want to belabor the point, but I do a lot of the damage AoE from cover. And I don't have to aim. So I'm falling back, but we're not. And so this is how you know when there's no duress. Our DPS was good, but under duress here, we stand and deliver. That's a great group. Again, practicing what I preach sometimes. I don't always do it. This next section's pretty easy, where they don't push too hard. I push too hard. but I'm pushing hard. Here I'm using the blinder and the jammer pulse, and like I've told you, that's kind of overpowered because you can lock everyone down except when you go too far forward. But these are some nuanced things. When you die, don't jam yourself next to the cover, because we got to get to the cover to res you. We want to be in cover to res you, so back off that. And you see the same thing. I'm in cover doing damage. I mark those guys and I throw that, and these guys just absolutely murder these people. And again, I'm on 2 times, but really this was one of the faster runs I've done. There's a point you're going to see up here further that we get to, we play it a different way than it's ever been played. This is the part that I ran. Well, you do this first part, you do this first section, and on the other side of this, that's when you would run to the yellow tents. And this is just good methodical play. So while we're here, I'm going to finish up analogies. I talked about analogies in the last video, which was a Destiny 2 video, but communicating through analogies, what's one of the best ways to communicate to someone your ideas or something? If you can't think of a good analogy, you probably don't understand thoroughly the idea you're trying to express. Because when you're using an analogy, that means that you have thought about your idea and thought of similar situations that represent that might be similar or more appropriate for the person to understand them. I want you to understand that I'm not doing this well, because I'm not explaining why being in cover in a legendary and doing damage is better than whatever build you got if you're part of a team. Now, all of us can't do that, but some people will tell me, well, you should do an eclipse, and you should do this, or you should mud people, or you should do this, and I'm in cover. Here's a point where I'm not even in cover, but I'm taking damage as I move up to splash these people. And you're going to see here, I'm in cover, and I'm going to damage the people nonstop. The other thing about a jammer pulse, that unintended consequences, it's like 3 or 5 pulses and you've put down. So in 50 seconds, you've taken away their healing pots without anyone going out there and getting smoked trying to put down their healing pot. Additionally, when you're putting pulse out, it disrupts the healing pot, so it stops the healing. So that's when you can kill a Chunga that's coming in that's under a healing pot. You vile jammer it, you jammer it. He's taking damage and. But I can't explain it anymore. So what does that mean? That means I'm not explaining it. There's no way I can explain it. When someone says, yeah, I see what you're doing, but you should use this other thing, like I'm not explaining it well enough, because you don't go, oh crap, I see what you're saying now. If the criteria is to go on a legendary and stay up 100% of the time, which I haven't done on this one, to stay up so I can keep doing damage, then you're right, I can't go out and mess around and get shot trying to do, like, where am I going to mud people here? And one of the guy muds a guy, and he's kind of far back, and it's good. He slows the guy down. And these guys had decoys up the wazoo, and they really used the shit out of those decoys. So that was another thing that made us go through here so fast. The other things I talked about in these videos is ask yourself why things are happening. Why are we going through here faster? Why do they kill stuff faster? Because they're not taking damage. I think I just... no, I'm just looking at my my video. My editing skills are lacking today. This part's easy. Really, what I'm supposed to do here is really to get the dog and shut the dog up. And I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to get out of the way and hide so I can do it again, because I'm not helping them if I can't keep pulsing that dog. I've told you if the dog comes in here, that's usually a bad sign, but it gets right to the precipice, right? Right to the precipice, and then they push them. So this is a group if you look at these folks, that's a group that's right powered, not overpowered, not underpowered. The other thing, the people in the group, this is what's great about this group. They pretty much stay. They do mild changes, but the healer always stays the healer, and the DPS guys always stay the DPS guys. Want to take this moment to thank everyone for liking, subscribing. I could use your help if you can recommend me or, share stuff to other people. I'd appreciate it. I'm kind of stuck at 308 on the subscribers. I'm sure people aren't thrilled that I'm not doing Division 2 all the time and doing Destiny 2 content. I really enjoy Destiny 2. I enjoy the Division. But I could use your help. But just commenting is help enough. I appreciate everyone that's commenting. So back to the gameplay. It's one of the few times that I was pretty good on my shots. Okay, so normally you play this out here, and everyone didn't. We were getting smoked right away. So eventually we made it down in this hole. Now, are you going to argue with your teammates, say this isn't where you should do it? Or are you going to have a build that already can just do that? Again, this is what I'd say to anyone. I'm putting damage on the people. Not putting tons of damage, but I'm putting pressure on them. And I don't have to see them. Because that's what the group wants to do. And because I fucked up before, I kind of feel guilty. So I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to say anything because I got a swipe before with my stupid strategy. This is a dumb mechanic. He died up there, but his body felt in here, so we tried to do it. So we got to kill a couple of these people before we can go res them. So having a bag of analogies, if you have fundamental ideas that you believe in, there's not a lot of good analogies about quantum mechanics because not everyone really understands it. Maybe the people who understand it aren't really good communicators. I'll tell you this, what I think about quantum mechanics. Quantum mechanics is all about probabilities. That's basically it. There's a famous double slit experiment, and there's a thing called the crash in the wave function, but really it's about, I can't know two things about a particle at the same time with maximum precision. I can't know its speed or its position. I can know one or the other. The more I know of the speed, the less I know of the position. And that comes down to probability. And one of the big things about that is why is that important? Well, where does it go from probability to that it's hard, fast, this table's a table, it's not a probability of a table. So that's one big signpost on, how this whole thing is made. Number two, a lot of times people say there's no free will, and there's a lot of scientific discussions, and it's back and forth on quantum physics, quantum mechanics, if that justifies that or not, if we live in a deterministic world or not. Okay, so we're going to go over and go immediately to the right. I've told you 100 times, go to the right, go to the right. I told them in chat, go to the right. They all go to the right. These guys got it down. And from this little pocket, we absolutely blister the enemy. Now, one person said, but we don't have a tank. Don't need a tank here. I'm doing hive heals. The healer's doing hive heals. We have double healing. We have pulsing. What I'm doing is I'm AoE damaging everyone and myself. I'm AoE damaging everyone all the time. Sniper guys, we got enough DPS where we're working on look at that, first one's down like it's nothing. And I'm sped up 2 times, but it went down pretty fast. Now we've killed so many guys, it spawned the helicopter while the other helicopters are going. They don't even know where to run. That's fantastic. Now I'm crapping my pants because I'm like, we're going to spawn the Chunga, and we haven't even killed the last helicopter. But this group has it covered. So, my salute to these guys. Chunga's coming. These guys were fantastic. I was the weakest link. I apologize to them. If any of them watch this, I apologize. I was running that other build for Super Slanky Lanky. Super, I'm sorry. I don't have a build. My build is not acceptable. But thank you for commenting, and I tried. Everyone, Ronan Kazi, I will see you next time. Please check out other people that subscribe. Follow some of the other people that comment on this channel. They're all really great people. Appreciate it. Thanks again. Ronan Kazi out.